Ridgeland announced the hiring of Kip Klein as the team's new head coach in March. In a special team meeting, Coach Klein spoke about what players and fans could expect from the Panthers in the coming season.
I'm going to put my spin on the program. It's going to be a lot of the same old family values you've seen in the past, but I'm going to put my spin on it where I want these kids to be servant leaders that know what it means to serve and to be able to give back to the community, give so much to them. Offensively, we're going to be pretty much the same pro-style offense we had last year. Defense will be the hard-hitting thing you've always seen, and we're going to uphold the values of Ridgeland and the community of Flintstone and Chattanooga and Rossville, Chattanooga Valley, and just show everybody our little gym we've got right here.
Coach Klein and his staff oversaw the renovation of the team's locker room and revealed the new facility to excited players and family members. Klein, a teacher and coach at Ridgeland for over 25 years, hoped to build on the foundation laid by previous coaching staffs and players to keep Ridgeland competitive for years to come. And with the summer winding down, the team looked forward to their first test in the opening game of the season against State Power Calhoun in the Corky Kell Classic. For the second consecutive year, Ridgeland and Calhoun opened the high school football season in the state of Georgia. The Corky Kell Classic features the best of the best in high school football in the state, and Ridgeland has clearly earned the right to play on that stage. Calhoun, winners of 3 state titles over the last decade, also entered the game with a new coach. Defensively, Terrence Roberts and Jeremiah Turner were key for Ridgeland as the Panthers stepped up to stop several Calhoun drives early in the game. Offensively, the Panthers struggled to find consistency, picking up only 3 first downs in the first half. The Panthers would eventually find the end zone, but it would be too little too late. Roberts finished with 82 yards on the ground on offense and defensively contributed 9 tackles as the Panthers dropped their season opener. The Panthers traveled to LaGrange to face the Troop Tigers in another game against a state power. The Panthers opened the scoring with a 40-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Blackwell to Torrance Roberts. The game would remain close until the fourth quarter when Troop proved to be too much for the Panthers, dropping Ridgeland to 0-2 on the season. The gauntlet continued for Ridgeland in Game 3 as they took on yet another ranked opponent. This time it was Sandy Creek, a team Ridgeland beat last year in a thrilling game. This game wouldn't be as thrilling with turnovers and missed opportunities plaguing the Panthers. The Patriots, who would make it within 1 game of the state title, would prove deserving of their top 5 ranking on this night. Ridgeland was led by Terrence Roberts with 67 yards on the night, while Torrance Roberts would add 35 of his own. Jordan Blackwell caught 2 passes for 36 yards. In the end, the Patriots upend the Panthers as Ridgeland began the season with 3 straight losses for the first time since 2005. Next up, Ridgeland traveled to Ringgold to face Heritage, but it was Mother Nature who put on a show, forcing the 2 teams to postpone their game 1 day, only a few plays into the contest. On Saturday, though, the fireworks were provided by Ridgeland, with the defense forcing Heritage to turn the ball over and the offensive capitalizing with big plays, like this 92-yard touchdown pass from Nathan Carver to Torrance Roberts. Still, Heritage kept the game close, but Ridgeland would continue to get the big plays they needed at just the right time. Carver finished the game with 167 yards through the air, while Terrence Roberts contributed 81 yards on the ground. Jordan Blackwell had 65 yards rushing, and Torrance Roberts picked up 131 yards on just 2 catches. King Mason added a 92-yard pick 6 as the Panthers would go on to win the game and gain the momentum in Region 6 4A, picking up Ridgeland's first win on the year and Coach Klein's first ever win as head coach. Northwest Whitfield was next for the Panthers. Ridgeland looked good early. The defense managed to force 2 key turnovers in the first half, and the offense converted both turnovers into points for the Black and Silver, putting Ridgeland up 16-7 going into the half. In the second half, the Panthers would continue to get chances, but struggled to put the ball in the end zone. Northwest, however, was able to find momentum after the intermission, coming out of the locker room to score 20 unanswered points to gain the win and drop the Panthers to 1-4 on the season. The Ridgeland Panthers welcomed alumni and opponent Cross Keys to Bowers and Painter Field to celebrate homecoming. While Cross Keys plays with a lot of heart, the Indians were completely outmatched from the start. Ridgeland was able to run at will on their opponent, scoring on several long touchdown runs. The passing game was seldom needed, but equally effective. On the defensive side of the ball, the Panthers shut the Indians down. Micaiah Paget was named homecoming queen as the Panthers picked up their second win of the year in an impressive showing, downing Cross Keys 55-6 and building momentum for county rival Lafayette. Next up for Ridgeland was their rival from the south end of Walker County, Lafayette. While the series hasn't been competitive in recent years, with Ridgeland winning 12 of the last 13 contests, it's a game both teams seem to get up for. Lafayette jumped out to a 10-0 lead in the game, but senior Jordan Blackwell soon put the Panthers in the driver's seat, running for 260 yards on 19 carries and scoring 3 times. As a team, Ridgeland averaged 9 yards a carry, racking up 449 yards in total offense. It was an impressive showing for an offensive line that had struggled earlier in the year. For the 6th straight year, Ridgeland scored over 40 points in the game and claimed the victory over their county rival. In conditions unfit for man or beast, Ridgeland faced Pickens in a game that would go a long way toward determining the region's 6-4A title. With last year's loss fresh in their minds, the Panthers had a lot to prove. Terrence Roberts and Jordan Blackwell had impressive showings, with Roberts gaining 160 yards on the ground, including a 92-yard run for a score. Blackwell added 228 yards on the ground with 3 touchdowns, also returning an interception for a score. All of that starts up front where the Panthers' offensive line dominated Pickens, opening up huge holes for the explosive backs to run. The rain and conditions did little to slow down the Panthers, who picked up the win and kept their hopes for a region title alive for yet another week. Ridgeland and a much improved Gilmer team went back and forth much of the night before the Panthers were able to dispatch with the Bobcats, claiming a 31-21 win and a surprising nail-biter in LJ. In the final game of the regular season, the region's 6-4A title was still to be determined. Ridgeland needed a win over Southeast Whitfield, coupled with a heritage win over Northwest to secure their 3rd region title in 4 years. Entering the game with a renewed confidence and on a 4-game winning streak, the Panthers were intent on doing their part. Jordan Blackwell and Terrence Roberts continued to shine, running behind an offensive line that really hit its stride down the stretch. Ridgeland seemed unstoppable on both sides of the ball on the night, as fans tried to stay updated on events happening in Whitfield County, where Heritage and Northwest were locked in a tight game. Finally, word came that the Generals had downed the Bruins, and when the clock reached 0 at Bowers and Painter Field, it was time to celebrate. Despite the frigid temperatures, Coach Klein could only grin as his team drenched him in ice water. After the difficult start to the season, it was a great sight for Ridgeland fans, and a great night for the first-year head coach. Following the game, the team celebrated with a team photo and began to look ahead to the playoffs. With a 55-35 win over Southeast, Ridgeland ends the regular season with a record of 6 wins and 4 losses. In the first round of the playoffs, the Panthers were matched up with the Madison County Red Raiders, a team that was searching for their first ever playoff win. The Panthers and the Red Raiders traded blows like 2 heavyweights, but Ridgeland was able to turn 2 Madison County turnovers into touchdowns. First on a 57-yard Terrence Roberts run, then on a Jordan Blackwell dive, set up by a Torrance Roberts run to claim a 13-7 lead as the game neared half. With Ridgeland leading prior to the half, Madison County looked to take the lead, but Torrance Roberts made an incredible tackle to preserve the Panther lead at intermission. In the second half, the 2 teams again battled hard before Madison County was able to gain the advantage. And as the clock ticked down, the Panthers' season soon came to an end. Madison County claimed the upset win 27-20 over the Panthers to end the Panthers' season.